At the end of season 2 of Dragonflight, we talked a lot about this concept, and you may have heard me talk about it a lot just on the streams or over the years. But the idea of physical comedy within Mythic Plus is something that always keeps me coming back. You see like weird things said, or like the behavior we showcased in the last video, that's obviously very aberrant. But what you're going to see here in this video is the reason I love Mythic Plus pugging.
You shall not interfere with our infinite dawn!
You get what I mean by physical humor? Like, watching that is funny, no context needed. I had actually watched this with a friend of mine when I got sent this, and somebody who was completely out of touch with what the game looks like nowadays said, "Oh, did that happen in the recent MDI?" That thought alone makes me crack up. Like, could you imagine if a team actually failed to do this skip with a warlock in a time setting where their money is on the line and people fall to their deaths? But yeah, just seeing multiple people take a warlock portal that's supposed to skip a single mob in a 17 and fall to their deaths instead of actually skip the mob is probably, I mean, this just makes me laugh out loud every time I see it. This is exactly what I mean by physical humor. Nothing needs to be said in the chat. There's no weird stuff going on. Nobody's flaming. Nobody's trolling. It's just some kind of weird mistake. There's a little bit more to look at than you might have immediately seen, though. Let's take a look at that. So we actually start like the first mistake of the whole process is the tank rushing forward, seemingly not either sure about skipping or perhaps just like guaranteeing that they're going to do it on the warlock. It's a silly thing to say, like, I don't really think that this is an issue, and if you're sure that the warlock can do it, then obviously there's no problem here. But as you can see in the chat, it does cause some confusion because now they're unsure of how they're going to skip. Perhaps at this level people aren't aware that warlock 8 can do it. But in terms of the placement, like, I've never seen this happen once. I don't know what this guy does wrong, honestly. Like, I'm not really sure, but it looks like, yeah, you can see he's just placed it terribly. Is it because he's not far enough up this way? Like, should he be moving this way to place it further here? Should he be moving the portal over to this side to place it there? It's basically on the edge of the geometry here. As soon as you take this, you know you're falling to your death, and somehow nobody notices. And I think that's what makes like the physical humor side of things so obvious to me. Like, these problems only exist because you're in a rush. It's stressful. You don't know these people and you're in a rush. The timer is ticking. Every second that you waste may be potentially something that you can't recover from. If there was no timer, like people constantly talk about, if there was no timer, this mistake couldn't happen. Or it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't be funny, I guess, too. But like, you would just take the time to line it up, or you can just fight the mob. Like, this is a 17 tyrannical. I think you're probably all right to just kill the mob, but that's what makes it that the tempered humor is only there because of how stressful, how potentially like time efficient people tried to be. And then of course, the fact that there are 5 random people who have never played together before. These things are just the brewing pot for something absolutely hilarious. We saw this so often in season 1, thanks to As Your Vaults. We still don't know what they're doing for season 4, but I pray that that dungeon is coming back and will offer something as funny as it did in season 1. So many people just falling off things, falling to their deaths. It was really the start of something special for me, and I'm glad that we were able to see it again here in season 3. But I have done this skip multiple times for the warlock. I have never seen it fail. So if you guys have any suggestion as to what needs to be changed, please do leave that down below. There is something else that I thought was particularly funny that you might not have caught, though. I want to show you that now. So watch the way it unfolds. So everybody clicks it again. Like, to me, I see that. I immediately notice that we're about to fall and slide out to our death, which is exactly what happens. But look at the frames on the top left here, okay? So we have the monk and those are the 2 guys in the shot, right? Then the mage does it too, and then count how many seconds go by. 3, 2, 1, the paladin does it too. I think that is actually funnier than everything else about it. That is what, when I saw that, I spit my drink all over the monitor. It's clicked at 23:51, 18 seconds into the footage. The paladin dies at 23:17, 33 seconds into the footage. What's perhaps even funnier about the situation is you can literally see him do it in this piece of footage here. The guy is sitting there, probably maybe struggling to click it. I don't really know what he's doing, because like you can kind of like slow it down and see like he's kind of stutter stepping, and then all of a sudden he just takes it. The reason this is so funny to me is like, look at the chat, bro. Like there's tons of people dead. You got 3 people dead while he clicks it, and then the chat is filled with like laughter and reaction to it, and he still clicks it anyway and falls to his death. I cannot get over watching this. I've watched this probably 20 times now, watching him sit there where everybody else is dead as the healer. You know what I mean? You have the frames on your screen. You should be able to tell that there are 3 other people dead. That's the healer, right? That just absolutely tickles me, and it is the embodiment of why I love pugging, because you will not see that in any type of coordinated group. Your average group that plays together constantly is not going to make a mistake like this. They're not going to be like subtly awkward about how they're skipping this mob. It's going to be very decisive, very clean, and if there is a mistake, probably only one person makes a mistake. Like the warlock places the gate wrong, he's probably going to immediately notice it's placed wrong. I don't know, there's just so many small things that equal a funny moment to me. This is why I love Mythic Plus pugging. If you guys are out there running low keys, or really any key where any hilarity is actually ensuing, please, I'm begging you, press that record button. We have had so many great submissions. I basically keep getting new great submissions that knock out the previous one. I am now 3 videos in queue of things that I expected to make for today's video. That's how many great moments there are out there. If you guys contribute some, I will be eternally grateful. Otherwise, stay tuned. Again, unfortunately, a little bit in flux with the streams this week. I hope to be able to keep the normal schedule, but either way, we should be back soon. And we got so many videos here that even if I do have to take more time away from streaming, we will just make some videos and we can all laugh together. So thank you for watching, guys. Enjoy. We will see you guys in the next video.